Week 3 has finally been completed, and oh my god, it was another action-filled week. Man, this truly is the biggest season in NFL history. So far, it has just been absolutely incredible on what we've seen. Some really unexpected stuff has happened, especially with the Raiders being 3-0, the Broncos still being 3-0. There is just so much to be like, oh my god, what is happening this year? Especially the shock of the defending AFC champions. The Chiefs have lost 2 games in a row. What the hell is happening? So we got a lot of stuff to cover, but forget all of that. Let's do what we're actually here for. We're here for the Week 3 matchup. Correction, Week 4. The Week 4 matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Arizona Cardinals. And this is going to be a good one. 2 of the last 3 undefeated teams in the NFC fighting, let alone the last 2 undefeated teams in the NFC West fighting for the number 1 uncontested spot in the NFC West. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So first things first, Rams and Cardinals history. So I gotta say it straight up. I think I'm not gonna give my prediction now on like the exact score on what I think is gonna happen, but I will say that I honestly think the Rams are just gonna go to town on the Cardinals. Mainly due to the fact that the Rams, they've had the Cardinals number for the last 4 or 5 years. And let alone the fact the Rams have won 9 out of the last 10 times they have played the Cardinals. And despite of all the pickups that the Cardinals have, with DeAndre Hopkins, J.J. Watt, and all that, I still just think the Rams are going to be too much for the Cardinals. I mean, let's kind of put this for example. DeAndre Hopkins, that's going to be guarded by Jalen Ramsey. That's a given. And what happened last time Ramsey and Hopkins faced off? You know what happened? Nothing, because Ramsey literally locked him down. And J.J. Watt's going to have to deal with the Rams O-line, which has been spectacular so far throughout the season. Especially with veteran Andrew Whitworth on left guard. He's going to be really something to deal with. So I'm really excited to see that matchup. So let's go ahead and look at some of the Rams' history. So let's kind of look at the last 8 games. And yes, I said 8. The last 8 games the Rams have played against the Cardinals. I'm just going to list the scores. I'm not going to get into it because this video is going to be an hour long. So, Rams win 18-7. Rams win 38-28. Rams win 31-24. Rams win 34-7. Rams win 31-9. Rams win 34-0. Rams win 32-16, and Rams win 33-0. And as you have just heard, the Rams have dominated the Cardinals the last few times, last a while against the Cardinals. Let's go ahead and look at some Week 3 stats from this past week. Let's look at some Cardinals stats first. Kyler Murray went 28 for 34 with 316 yards through the air. He threw 1 interception, no touchdowns. The Cardinals had a grand total of 91 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, and they were 1 for 2 on field goals with a pick 6, scoring a grand total of 31 points. And then the Rams, Matthew Stafford went 27 for 38 with 343 yards, no interceptions, and 4 touchdowns. And the Rams had 75 rushing yards, 2 field goals with a long of 48, and the Rams scored 34 points. And the key play for the Rams was the 75-yard touchdown reception by Deshaun Jackson. And here's why I think the Rams are going to win. The Cardinals have played 3 games this year, to which we all know they're 3-0. To which I don't think many of us expected. They have surprised a lot of people with how well they're doing. But here's the thing we have to keep in mind. The Cardinals have played a lot less competition than the Rams have played. I can say with full confidence the Cardinals have probably played, I'll give them one playoff contending team that I can say with full confidence is yes, I can see that team in the playoffs. And that's the Vikings. I know I'm discounting the Titans a little bit just because they're pretty inconsistent. It's just they can kind of go hit or miss. But get this. The Cardinals should have lost the game to the Vikings, but as we all know, the Vikings don't have kickers, let alone kickers that can make field goals. So I think we kind of all expected that to happen. Okay, the Titans game, the Cardinals did really good. Obviously, I gotta give credit where it's due. That they looked good in that game. The Vikings game, they did okay. And obviously, the Jaguars game, they obviously went to town on the Jaguars because the Jaguars are terrible. And here's something we got to keep in mind. Even with all that, guess what? The teams that the Cardinals have been playing, they're still scoring good points against the Cardinals. The Cardinals don't have a formidable defense. And guess what? The Rams do. The Cardinals don't. And let alone the fact, oh my God, the Rams O-line is going to tear up. Correction, the Rams D-line is going to tear up the Cardinals O-line. Aaron Donald is going to have his way with Kyler Murray. I guarantee it. And let alone the fact, the Rams are undoubtedly, as of this moment, the best team in the league. They are. They just knocked off the defending Super Bowl champions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Matthew Stafford has just looked like the piece to the missing puzzle the Rams have needed since day one. So, now the biggest question is, can the Rams continue this success against other playoff contending teams, let alone teams that are undefeated? And here's the answer, yes, they can. Just because of the fact that the Rams, the first 3 games, are all against playoff contending teams. Chicago Bears, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And guess what? The Rams have weight laced to all 3 of them. The Rams have one of the best, if not the best, offense in the league. Stafford just looks like a new man. And let alone Cooper Kupp, oh my God, he's the leading receiver. He looks so good. Deshaun Jackson is finally being utilized, and man, he looks great. Robert Woods is getting his 2 cents in. The same goes for Van Jefferson, Tyler Higbee, that O-line, the running game. Sony Michel, Darrell Henderson's expected to be back this week. Everything just looks great for the Rams. Their run defense was especially good against the Buccaneers. And as everybody has seen, the Buccaneers' run game has been really good. And guess what? The Rams shut it down. Tom Brady was the Buccaneers' leading rusher in that game, which is pathetic. The Rams just look so good. And I don't think the Cardinals are ready for the amount of explosiveness that's going to come from the Rams, especially it being a home game at SoFi Stadium. And SoFi has been proven to be such a big home field advantage. I really just can't see the Cardinals doing much in this game. I think they're going to get shut down by the Rams. I think the Rams are going to have their way with them. And I think the Rams are going to be taking the lead in the NFC West and being 4-0 at the end of this week. Cardinals down to 3-1. So my final prediction, I got the Los Angeles Rams beating up on the Cardinals by the final score of 35-7. Really appreciate you guys hanging around for this one. If you haven't already, please like the video, please subscribe. Give me your opinion down in the comments. I want to debate with you guys. Please do it. And thank you guys so much for hanging around. Your house, our house, Rams house. See you guys next week.